So I started looking outside of my day-to-day restaurant job at ways to keep me learning and growing. And I finally put myself out there no matter how many hurdles got in my way. And I always found another way to find a creative outlet to share my love of hospitality with my community. Being given the opportunity to showcase everything I've been working on is an honor, and it would mean the world to me to have the chefs and leaders I look up to and respect not only recognize my hard work, but reward me for it. So I'll be starting by making my samosa dough. So I'm going to start by mixing some all-purpose flour and salt. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of yogurt to start. So in my preparations, I was of course using the Victorinox knife that we received just to get a little bit more comfortable with it, because it's not my day-to-day chef's knife. But I did like how light it was in comparison to my actual chef knife that I use day to day, so my wrist didn't feel sore after each preparation. So as I mentioned, I marinated the beef in the yogurt and I'm setting it aside. So I'm going to be starting my pickling liquid next. I'm going to add a pinch of caraway seeds, salt, honey, a pinch of turmeric, water, and apple cider vinegar for this preparation. And at the same time, I'm also going to be toasting some of my spices. Next, I'm going to get my cauliflower ready to pickle. So I did want to use the trim of my cauliflower for the puree. So I'm just going to chop up the trim. Okay, so my cumin is nicely toasted. I'm setting that aside. And in the same pan, I'm actually going to add in my caraway seeds. So as I mentioned, I'm going to add into my cauliflower puree a little bit of Dijon mustard, a generous pinch of salt, and some vegetable stock. Okay, next I'm going to prepare some of the ingredients for my filling. So far in my filling, I just have the celery trim. I'm going to be using scallion tops and bottoms for 2 different preparations today. I'm going to now add carrot, and I'm not going to peel it because it's been washed. Now I'm going to prepare some chili. So I've roughly chopped the garlic. I'm going to add a little bit into the filling now. And now I'm going to add the ginger. So now that I have everything cut, I'm going to incorporate some of the cumin and caraway from earlier that I just toasted, as well as a generous pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, some allspice, and again, a tablespoon of yogurt. The beef mix, so I'm going to add another pinch of salt and another pinch of cumin. And then I'm just going to test a small tablespoon and set the meat aside. While it's cooking, I'm going to get ready on my chili pear compote. So I'm adding some chili flakes. Again, I did want this part to be a little bit spicy. I'm going to add a pinch of garlic, a good amount of ginger, a pinch of salt to balance the sweetness, honey, and some red wine vinegar. In the meantime, I'm finally going to work on my cilantro chutney. Cilantro in here, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic because this is going to be served raw. I don't want to add too much. It'll be too peppery. A little pinch of ginger, a bit of yogurt. And to this, again, I wanted to add a little bit of spices. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of cinnamon and a little pinch of allspice as well for here. So it's bright and acidic from the yogurt. So here's my dough, and press it. Here's my half. I'm going to be using about a teaspoon per samosa. To my pan, I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil, a good amount of garlic, the scallion tops, and some ginger, and a very small amount of Anaheim chili. To my pan with the aromatics, I'm now going to add a few spices, caraway seed, some cumin, some more allspice, the chickpeas. In the meantime, I'm going to remove my celery from the ice bath. I'm going to quickly dip them in the pickling liquid. A little cauliflower puree on the base. I'm going to be adding some spiced chickpeas to that so they can adhere. I'll be adding 3 pieces to the plate. Then I'll be adding some of the pickled cauliflower. Then some of our pear compote, our cilantro chutney, a good pinch of the cilantro stems, and then finally our celery ribbons and celery leaves to garnish. And there you have it. Today I've made for you a Canadian beef top sirloin samosa using MC Dairy's grass-fed organic beetroot honey yogurt and the samosa dough. And it's served with the turmeric pickled cauliflower, a cilantro chutney, pear chili compote, some spiced chickpeas, and a cauliflower puree with some fresh celery ribbons. It's about those who show up every single day to give great food and service. I believe we need to start taking bigger steps to take care of our staff, not only in the form of benefits or appropriate wages, but also in the way that we run our establishment. From the outside, an exciting and passionate restaurant environment can appear intimidating, and the techniques needed to sustain a successful career can seem difficult to attain. Of course, the result shouldn't just be to simplify what we do in order for new staff members to produce it, but there is something to be said about being able to find that sweet spot of technique driven yet approachable. I believe the revival of the industry lays in how we take care of those who are in it. And to me, this is one way to help assemble a sustainable team and my way to address one of our biggest challenges ahead of us.